Hi folks, I just want to show you my what I call MythPBX. The box is rebooting right now. It's based on Ubuntu Lucid 64-bit OS, and basically, you see it booting up here. Basically, I've got several things on this box that is controlled by Ubuntu. One, my PBX based on asterisk and free PBX. I have, of course, Ubuntu running. I also have xbmc, Xbox Media Center running. As you can see, it starts up by default, and basically they run simultaneously. Obviously, the box itself, I've got this on a tripod, but the box itself is down here. It's connected through S-Video on my big screen. It's an older big screen, and the video card unfortunately doesn't have HDMI output to it, so I had to use S-Video out. But I kind of wanted to give you a tour of basically how I've set this up. This uses it's hard to see here, Stream Zap remote. Let me turn on a light here. Hopefully it won't be too bright. That should be good. That's not too bad. Stream Zap remote, right? Now I've configured this in several different ways. Now, let me show you an example here. See these, let's see, in the light here, these 4 buttons down here. Easier to see if I towards the light. Red, green, blue, or I'm sorry, red, green, yellow, and blue button right here. By default, LIRC, the software that controls remote in Ubuntu or any kind of an infrared remote. By default, these bottom 4 buttons don't do anything. So I ended up configuring LIRC to use these buttons to do tasks that normally I would need a mouse or a keyboard to do. Since that box is way over on this side, over there under the printer, it's not so easy to grab a keyboard or grab a mouse, that kind of thing. So I'm gonna remote desktop into it real quick here and show you an example. And remote desktoping in is kind of convenient, but when you want to do something quick or without having to wait to log into the box and things like that, that's why I configure those 4 buttons. So for example, let's say I've got a terminal screen up, right? So I don't want to say I don't have access to a computer to remote desktop into it, and I don't want to walk across the room to pull out a keyboard or a mouse to close the window. How do I do that? Well, like I said, I configured the 4 buttons with to execute a command of sort, a small script to do a normal process that would be used on a keyboard. So, for instance, I want to close that window, so I configured the red button here to kill the window. I'd associate red to kill kind of thing. Easy to remember. So hit the red button, boom, it closes the window. Okay. Now the green button, this one right here, I configured to open xbmc in case the window gets shut down or whatever, and back to the desktop screen. Well, how do I open that back up without having to, once again run over to the keyboard or remote desktop in? So hit the green button, opens that up. Okay. Let's close it out. Now there's two more buttons here, the yellow and the blue. I think I used yellow to open Hulu. Okay, so that launches Hulu. Okay. And I configured Hulu
Are you excited
LIRC.
Tomorrow Saturday? No, it's the first day of school. Yeah, I'm not going to go to that. But it's mandatory.
Well, it's supposed to work. It's really laggy in Hulu.
Elizabeth, you shouldn't be teaching. I mean, I can't think of anyone less suited to being a teacher.
Normally it works. Maybe it's not configured totally properly right now. But yeah, so the yellow button launches Hulu. And the blue button, I don't think I configured that. But this button right here, once again it's hard to see, is the power button. I don't think that was by default configured. So what I used that for was to launch BoxyBox. Okay? So I can launch all my Media Center apps via my remote. So if I get tired of using Xbox Media Center, and want to launch Boxy, that's how I do that. Okay. And it doesn't always close real great, but there we go. So that's how I've configured that. Just an easy way to get all that working. And just to illustrate, I also have, like I said, I've got asterisk with free PBX running, basically routing all my calls, all that kind of thing. And some people might ask, well, why do you use a PBX? Why not just use a analog phone adapter to just because I use call-centric. Why don't you use just that? Well, there's a lot of different features that I can use in this that one simple ATA cannot do. One thing, call-centric limits you on how many numbers you can block, right? So I use the blacklist a lot to block numbers, okay? And the custom voicemail, but I also have set up right here Google Voice, okay? Asterisk 1.8.3, I think it is. So basically right now until Google starts charging, I can use it to make outbound calls to any U.S. phone number for free for the time being through 2011. And also I've got the inbound Google Voice number working as well. So my wife is from Thailand, so if her family jumps on Google Voice and they call, my Google Voice number, it'll ring my home phone. Pick it up just like a regular phone call, and the quality's not bad for being overseas. So that's kind of how I got things set up there. It's a little more complicated. There's more things to it, but so anyways, let's jump over to Xbox Media Center. I want to show you some things that I use there. Okay. Right now, the main programs I use are these right here. You can also set up